time today. Woo! All right. And have you seen a vendor that you've never seen before? Lots of them this go round, right? Yes, it's awesome. And some great food. We got somebody from LA and all that kind of jazz. So make sure after here you taste this delicious food that Jake is hooking up here. Not only will you see him here, but you can also go to Fungi Foods and get their, what did I get? The crab cakes? What are they called?
You tell me what you got. I didn't.
I got mac and cheese.
Got the cheese. And I got the Krabby Cakes. And they got a nice crunch on them. All right, so this afternoon, we have Chef Jake Stolz of Fungi Foods. He's a lifelong foodie turned mushroom cultivator.
Thank you.
He discovered his passion for fungi in 2022, and he launched Fungi Farms, growing organic mushrooms right here in the Bay Area. Voila.
Good job, Vanna.
His mission, anybody know? Mission? Okay. His mission is to transform locally grown mushrooms into crave-worthy comfort foods, not frooms. See, I made a new word. Frooms.
Fungi frooms.
You heard it here first at the San Francisco Vegan Society in 2025 on World Vegan Day. Did y'all know that's the World Vegan Day? So now we got frooms that delights every kind of palate. He's leading the...
What am I leading? The mycelial movement.
Mycelial movement. He was going to help me with that. That's why we're tag teaming.
I'm not alone
here.
in that. There's a lot of people.
One bite at a time. I would like to welcome Chef Jake. I am botching up my words all over the place. He is creating a creamy mushroom chowder, and just in time for cuddling season. So step back and enjoy Chef Jake making the mushroom soup here.
Thank you for the lovely introduction. Hello, everybody. I think Tamika said everything. I have nothing left to say besides welcome. Thank you for coming. This is my first time doing any sort of chef demo, so I didn't write any notes down because I would have tried to follow script too much. So if I stutter, I mumble, let me just deal with it. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to because I can't fix that. But yes, I started my mushroom farm a couple years ago. It's currently located in Orinda. We cultivate them indoors. I started it in 2022 in Alameda out of my little spare bedroom. And I got myself to a farmer's market and sold some mushrooms and people liked them. And then I just kept on the journey. Yes, you were there. So that's part of my story. There's many ups and downs. Owning a business, now 2 businesses, is a roller coaster. So it's a blast, though. I have a really awesome team that helps us grow the mushrooms and cook the food. And I couldn't be happier with where I'm at right now in the community that I'm getting to build. And you are all now part of the community for being here today. So give yourselves a round of applause. All right, let's get into some cooking. What's in the chowder today, mushroom-wise, are these chestnut mushrooms. They have a little bit of a crunch to them. I kind of compare them to an asparagus. And then our oyster mushrooms. And mushrooms you can eat raw if you really want to, but your body can't digest mushrooms the way that they do the rest of the foods that you eat. They're made of the cell wall is made of something called chitin, and it's really tough for your body to digest in time. I think if we had a longer digestive tract, it would be able to eventually break it down, but for the time it passes through, you have to cook mushrooms. It breaks down that chitin and it allows all the nutrients to be available to your body. So we're going to be cooking these mushrooms today, and a little something about me and how I like to cook. This is my sous chef scale. If you don't have one of these in your kitchen, get one. I'm sure there's some chefs out there that are going to give me hate for using scales for things. Or the home cook. You don't have to make it perfect every time, and nothing ever is perfect. That's why I use the scale, is so that today the grams that I use for every ingredient, when I make the dish and I taste it at the end, if I'm like, this is a little too peppery, I use 6 grams of pepper, I'm going to knock that down to 4. So then every single time that you remake that dish, you can fine tune it and you can make it exactly how you want it to be. Somebody else might like more pepper, and at the end they can dump as much as they want into. But for what you are trying to achieve, at least for me, with like having a food business now as well, I want our menu or our recipes to be consistent. So if I'm training somebody to do it, they need to know exactly how much is there, because sometimes if you're grabbing a tablespoon of something, maybe it's a little, the chef just went off duty. All right, we're freeballing this. That's okay. All I had to, so if it's not good, blame the sous chef. So I pretty much have everything else weighed out. I just had to weigh out some butter and then some oat milk that we're going to add later. Okay, so with a mushroom chowder, any kind of creamy pasta or soup, you want to kind of start with making. We don't have to start with it. We're going to start with sauteing our vegetables. I've got some diced up finely carrots, celery, onions, and we're going to cook those down, brown them, get them to stick to the pot a little bit so that when we add in our broth, that's kind of going to act as our, what's the word I'm looking for? Deglaze, or who said it? Who said it? A couple of you said it, yes. Oh, and on that note, I've been cooking for a year. So other than that, I have no prior experience doing this. I just found. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. So yes, there are undoubtedly more of you in this room that know more about cooking than me. So if you have any suggestions, or I say something and I say it wrong, speak up. I love learning. I love being critiqued. You know, we can't get better. Thank you. Okay, so we're melting this butter down. I'm going to dump in these veggies here, and we're going to start mixing those around. When they're ready to deglaze, I'm going to pour in a little bit of the broth. And what else do I got to do here? I wasn't sure. Yes, vegan butter. Via Life makes this butter. Yes. That would be really messed up if it wasn't. And then you get to see my subpar cutting skills here for this garlic. You know, you got to be your first critic. Yeah. You're right, Hillary. You're right. I forgot my mincer. That would have saved me a lot of time here. Something about garlic. It's delicious. You can weigh it to know how much garlic you're putting into things. That is one thing that sometimes I don't weigh because I just love garlic and I just toss as much as my heart desires in there. But also something about garlic. We're not going to add it along with the rest of these veggies because it's going to burn. You want to add garlic after these veggies are already cooked down. And then cook it for like another 2-3 minutes, just so the aromatics start to, or the garlic can get hot, the flavors, smells, all that start coming out, but you don't want to burn it. If I were to put it in now, it would burn by the time that the rest of the veggies are cooked. So I'm just going to smash these. Let's see. While I'm chopping this, does anyone have a question about mushrooms at all? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead. Where are they naturally grown? In my barn in Orinda. No. There's oyster mushrooms are all over the world. The ones on your right, the blue oyster mushrooms. There's dozens and dozens of different oyster mushroom varieties. You'll see blue ones, you'll see pink ones, you'll see brown ones, you'll see gold ones. They're all native to certain areas. The pink ones and the gold ones are native to like tropical areas in Asia. There's so many of them. You can find them if you just go foraging in the woods around here. I know San Francisco is always humid. So any kind of little park you can find, if you're just taking a walk, keep your eyes out. Mushrooms are everywhere. Sometimes they're up in trees, sometimes they're down on the ground. Lion's mane is all over North America. I think it's also in Asia as well. They call it deer butt in Asia. That's one of the names that they use for like a white-tailed deer. That's what it looks like to them, the little fluffy white mushroom. Lion's mane, the one in the middle, is very good for brain health. It has a lot of properties called arenacenes and haricinones that help with brain what's the words I'm looking for? It helps if you have damaged nerve cells in your brain, the neural pathways, it can help fix those damaged nerve cells. It's one of, I'm sure there's some other things, but it's one of the very few things naturally grown that can repair damaged nerve cells. It's shown in studies to help with people that have Alzheimer's and dementia. I don't think it's been a cure for any of those things, but it can definitely help with the symptoms of it. And if you start eating it now, it could prolong that disease if it is something that's going to, if you know it's in your family, because I know those things are genetic. If it's something that's in your family, maybe look into taking some lion's mane supplements. Yeah. Yeah, there is an app called, what is it? iNaturalist, I think. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah, is that right? Okay. Yeah, and that's for like anything in the wild, any plants or fungi, because fungi is not a plant. It's in its own domain. But yeah, iNaturalist is really cool. You can take a picture and it'll show you what some other photos that people uploaded were. And I think you can also just like browse for certain things in your area. If you're like, I live in Northern California, what might I encounter here? It might show you that. Okay. Normally, I do this over like a gas stove. So I would normally do it all in one pot, cook down these vegetables, add in the garlic towards the end, and then I can just add the mushrooms right on top and let them start to cook down. But we're going to do the mushrooms separate because we got a lot of them, and we want them to be able to cook in time so you guys can... So with mushroom, and this is a lot of mushrooms. This isn't something I normally recommend putting this many into a pan because mushrooms have a lot of moisture in them. And the way I recommend to cook mushrooms is to dry saute them. So I would put like a third of this in normally. And that lets, before you put any oil or butter into the pan, turn it on, medium-high heat, and then toss your mushrooms in. Let them start to kind of sizzle. Their natural moisture will prevent them from sticking at first. Eventually, they will start to stick. And that's okay if you're adding the deglazing agent, whatever that may be. Or once they start to stick, that's when I'll toss in a little bit of butter or oil, and that'll get them off the pan and not sticking anymore. And then it can start to like kind of crisp them up on the edges. And that's kind of what we're going for. We want to cook out the water before we add in the fats. Think of like a pot or a cup of oil and water. They don't mix, right? Same thing with mushrooms. If you have too much water in the mushroom, we're cooking. Okay. If you have too much water in the mushroom, there's no room for the oil to go into it, and it also just kind of makes it a little bit soggier. So we want to get as much water out of them as we can before we add in the oil or butter. That's a good question. Well, we tell the folks who buy our mushrooms at the farmer's market that they don't have to clean them because they have never been touched by human hands. They grow out of these blocks, and when we harvest them, we have gloves on. We put them straight in the box, take them to the market, we pull them out, and put them in the containers to sell them. So when you get them, you're the first person that has touched them. But if you want to just be extra careful, you can take a damp paper towel and you can kind of wipe them off like that. Button mushrooms or like cremini mushrooms, portobellas, when you get those from the store, those you can like run underwater, and sometimes I'll even use like a little sponge or something to scrape them off because those have a lot of dirt on them. They're a different way of cultivating mushrooms. Those grow in really big beds in massive factories that have vertical space, and it's a pretty cool operation seeing them grow that way. There's a couple different styles of farming. These are our mushroom blocks. That's like the typical style of farming for like the gourmet culinary varieties that you see, maitake, oyster, all of that. Okay, where are we at here?
We have another
Question?
question.
Farmers markets, we have one over here on Sundays in the Outer Sunset where we sell our mushrooms. And then Martinez Farmers Market, Livermore, Alameda, San Ramon, and Fremont.
Is that on Clement Street?
Clement Street? No, it's the Outer Sunset District over closer to the beach. Yeah. Clement Street is a really cool farmers market, though. If you guys have never been there, I would check that out. It's one of the biggest farmers market in the area. The Clement Street. Yeah. Yeah. All right, these are cooking down here. Yeah, it's a good question. These are the chestnuts take the longest, around 22 to 24 days typically. And this all depends on the temperature and humidity in your grow room. They love, like, if I could have one temperature year round, it would be 60 degrees. If I could have one humidity year round, it would be 85% humidity. If they don't have the humidity, they won't grow as well. They could dry out more quickly. So keeping those temperatures and humidities consistent throughout their growth cycle is really critical to having a consistent turnaround for running a mushroom farm, because we know if we're going to put however many hundreds of blocks into our grow room on day one, call it, we want to know that by day 10, these are going to be ready. By day 18, these are going to be ready. By day 22, those are going to be ready. And that can fluctuate depending on your temperature and humidity, like I said. So it's really critical to be able to control those in a commercial setting. If you're growing them at home, you can wait another couple days for them to be ready, and it's not going to mess you up too much. But when we're waiting for another 500 blocks to go into the grow room, we don't have space, so we got to make sure that everything's growing at the right speed. Yeah. Oh, carrot, celery, onion, and then these are the mushrooms that are simmering down. Garlic, yes. So I added the garlic. The onions were becoming translucent, and the carrots and the celery are soft, so I added the garlic in. We got like another couple minutes for that. These are cooking. I have a lot in here, like I said. So they're cooking a little bit slower than usual. But let's see. The mushroom blocks. Yeah, we do sell our grow kits online at thefungifarms.com. We're in a phase of needing to scale our farm up. We are maxed out with where we're at with the mushrooms that we grow for the farmers market, for the food stand, and we also make mushroom jerky now out of our oyster mushrooms. That is so good. I will pat myself on the back for that one. It turns out really, really good. We have 3 flavors currently. We have a lot more flavors coming, and everybody loves it. So we need more space to grow. But on that note, for your question, we need a bigger farm. And although we currently sell grow kits, we sell them for like $20. But I'm really passionate about wanting to get people to grow mushrooms, to grow as much food as they can. Not everybody has that space. You don't have a yard to be able to plant tons of vegetables and fruits. But mushrooms You can put 20 of these things on a little shelf in the corner of your room, put a humidifier there on a timer, and just have it go off every once in a while and keep them humid. So I'm working to get these down to like a very reasonable price of like somewhere between $5 and $10 for people to be able to encourage people to do it at their house. It might put me out of business at the farmer's market because off of one of these blocks you can get about, on your first harvest, like 1.5 pounds, and then you can get 2 or 3 harvests out of them. So it definitely will be more affordable for you to buy the blocks and grow them yourself. And that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to be selling everybody mushrooms. I want everybody to be able to grow their own mushrooms. And then eventually educate people on how to make the blocks themselves if they want to do that. Yeah. Can they grow outside? Yeah, you want to keep them out of sunlight because that'll dry them out. And outside there's a lot more wind that could also dry out like the surface of the block, and you'd lose some of that humidity that you're trying to keep. But if you're in a humid area, or you could keep them in the shade, and if you want to like spray them with your garden hose, you can. Yeah. Yeah, thefungifarms.com. Yes. Just away from direct sunlight, and don't put it by like a window or a fan or something that's going to be blowing a lot of air past it. Funny enough, I tell people to keep them in their bathroom. You know, yeah, I mean, some people look at me like, gross, but I'm like, hey, I don't know. You keep your toothbrush in the bathroom. Like, why not keep your mushroom block in the bathroom? Shut your toilet seat. I don't know. But yeah, that's the most humid spot in the house. Or like by your sink. If you want to put it next to the sink, you're running that a couple times a day or whatnot. But our grow kits come with little spray bottles, or you could get a bigger spray bottle and just come by and spray them a couple times. These are so easy to. These are easier than any. I don't have a green thumb. I killed 8 tomato plants this year. I can keep 1,000 mushroom blocks alive at a time, but 8 tomato plants hate to see me coming. Okay. All right. Let me think real quick. All right. What do we got going? All right. These are still cooking down. With these not cooking as fast, there's going to be more water in them. And that being said, the creaminess level that I was looking for these for the chowder to be at the end might be a little bit more something like that, than what was anticipated. But with the mushrooms, you want to just keep steaming them, like I said, till they start to stick, and then you can combine them into here. I'm going to do that now, and then I totally forgot one thing. Some seasoning. Whatever seasonings I put in my chowder here, I have paprika, smoked paprika, garlic, salt, some sage, and thyme. And I put it together. I measure them out in like one little cup, and I'll mix all the seasonings around together. And I'll put some in for the veggies and let them cook. You want to season at every step when you're cooking. So sorry I forgot to do that. Hopefully it still tastes good. I'm going to add it all in now. So I add some in with the veggies and let them get seasoned while they cook, and then I add some in on top of the mushrooms, and then I add some in at the end. All right.
If you add salt early on to the mushrooms, would it draw moisture faster?
Yes, it would. Good idea. Yeah, and there's other ways of cooking mushrooms too. You can also can bake them. I really like to roast mushrooms. You can chop them up, put them in a bowl, and what's the word I'm looking for? Season them, then put them on a baking sheet, mix them with some oil, and then yeah, sprinkle some salt, and they'll cook really nice there. So what I'm doing here is I'm heating this up so it can be tempered. When you're making a soup, you want your, sorry, I'm losing my words. You don't want this to be a lot colder than what your mixture is here, especially because we're going to be adding our starch. I use sweet rice flour. It's not actually sweet. It's made from short grain rice, sticky rice, and it helps make soups and gravies like a little bit more creamy flavor. And then I also have in here some cornstarch, some masa. That's kind of like my secret for certain things. It's masa, yeah, corn flour. It has like a subtle sweetness to it, and it helps to like cut down, especially like if you're making a chili. I can't give you all the secrets to my chili out there because then you wouldn't need me. But I add some masa into it, and that cuts down the acidity from the tomatoes, and it gives like a nice little sweet undertone. So I added some of that into here, and that's also, these two I chose to keep it gluten-free. You could use another type of flour if you wanted to. I'm still experimenting with flours and trying to figure out which ones work well for in what ways. I know tapioca flour is a really good one to use. What's that? Oat flour? I haven't used oat flour. The good question. The broth is bouillon, just veggie bouillon, and some water. 800 grams of water. I guess I didn't have the. Did other people give recipes, or is it just like cooking? Oh, there was only one person. So. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that because I want you guys to be able to remake this. All right, we're starting to stick here a little bit. So. Sweet rice flour. Sweet rice flour. It's they use the word, and it doesn't mean gluten. They use the word gelatinous when it comes to, it's also called glutinous rice flour, not gelatinous. And that's not because it has gluten in it. It's for like a glue-like structure. Sticky rice, yeah. I also found out something recently about sticky rice that blew my mind, is they season it. So there's a little bit of, you can use seasoned rice vinegar that has sugar and some salt in it. Or if you make it yourself, you can put a little sugar and salt and vinegar in there. But the sugar is kind of what helps it stick. Blew my mind. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to add this in. I think I'm running out of time, so normally I would do this a little bit at a time, but I think it's hot enough to where it's going to be okay. All right. I'm going to heat up some oat milk as well because we want to temper that before we add it in. This is going to give some of the creamy texture we're looking for. As you know, my sous chef is off duty, so I can't measure here, but it's equal parts. It's for this recipe, you'll have the ingredients later on, but 800 milliliters of broth and oat milk. We're going to get this prepped.
So the recipe's going to be on your website? Or
Where's the recipe going to be, Hillary?
It's going to be on,
Okay. Yeah, I can put it on my site too, yeah. I use a little bit of heavy whipping cream to make it super creamy at the end.
is that soy cream?
Yes, Silk brand soy whipping cream. I'm also adding some white miso for a nice umami flavor. And what I'm doing here is after the chowder is almost, or when it's done, I'm gonna take some of it, put it into this blender, and whip it up with this, and then add it back in. You can do that for any soup. If you wanted to get it a little bit thicker, you can just take some of it and immersion blend or blend it up. And it's white miso, yeah. And then some fresh lemon from my tree out front. And lemon is such, oh my god, lemon's so good for everything. But for soups and pastas especially, adding some fresh lemon juice at the end brings it together like you wouldn't imagine. You know, the best dishes are a good balance of salty, sweet, acidity, all the things. We want a nice balanced. Okay, we're boiling. This is starting to get a little thick. Getting down to the wire here.
For your next cooking demonstration, it would be good for you to incline the whole dish so everybody can see it.
Yes, and to not have the Great Wall of China surrounding it with this pot. Can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see. All right, that's warm. We're gonna add this in. If it's not tempered, if you don't warm it up, you want to add it very slowly. And this part is critical because now that we're adding a cream to it with the oat milk, it has a chance to curdle. And same thing with regular milk, like non-vegan stuff, as the same for vegan milks. There are proteins inside of it, and when it gets shocked, if it's cold and it goes into something really hot, those proteins clump together, and that's where you get your curdling. All milks have fat in them, and they're an emulsion. And an emulsion is you can take some vegan butter and you can use an immersion blender and you can whip it up and it'll make it thick and a little bit creamy. I lost my train of thought.
Proteins get shocked from cold to
Yeah. So you want to add it in slowly, add in your milk slowly so that it doesn't curdle. And we're looking good. I think we're good. We're good here, people. Okay. Let's add some of this in. And this is up to you how much you want to add to make it. The more that you add, the less chunks you're going to have in your soup afterwards. Am I doing okay for my first time? You did great. Okay. Hey, thank you. Okay. Oh, true. I like you. Remember, if it doesn't taste good, we blame the sous chef. The scale. All right, this is bubbling a little bit. You also want to be careful with using milks that you don't want it to get too hot. Over, I think, 180 degrees, which boiling point is 212 degrees, but over 180 degrees, the milk can also start to separate and curdle. Now, if I would have remembered, I like to save a little bit of my broth for the end so that I can get all this good, goopy, delicious cream and miso out of here. Or a little bit of water at the end. Yeah, and if you boil down your chowder too much and it's too thick, you can always add some more broth or some more cream. If it's too thin, you can still fix it at this point. Has anyone made like a cornstarch slurry before, or make like a slurry out of some flour? You want to make those cold. If I wanted to add something to here, a slurry, you don't need to make them cold, but you don't want to add it straight into here. I would take a little bit of this, put it into a bowl, add the flour, the cornstarch or whatever, whisk it around a lot, and then you can add it back in. If you pour the cornstarch right into here, you're not going to be able to whisk it in time for it to not clump up, and then you'll just have a bunch, and it won't do what you want it to do. It won't thicken the whole soup. You'll just have random spots of a lot of different clumpy pieces of cornstarch. Okay. Yeah. I don't have any more seasonings to fix it with if it's not right, so. It's good. It's what do I want to say about it? The veggies are a little bit harder than I would want them to be. I didn't get a chance for them to cook all the way down. So I like them to be a little bit softer. And if you're making a chowder for yourself, you don't have to even put veggies into it. You can make a roux. You can start with just your butter and your cream, and add in your butter and flour. Mix that around, brown it up in the pan, make a roux, slowly add in your cream, and just make like a creamy sauce. And then you can saute your mushrooms on the side, toss that in. You can make it really simple. Another way I like to make the chowder is to roast some potatoes and corn on the side. Make the roux, add the cream sauce, make it thick and creamy, dump in the potatoes and the corn at the end, and mushrooms, of course. So there's a bunch of ways you can make chowder, but one of the key parts I think to mention is just warm up your broth and your milk before you add it to it, because you don't want that shock happening when it goes in there. That's the most common thing that I used to experience was it curdling, and I'm like, why is this happening? I don't know. So yeah. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Do you have recipe or
Yeah, I'm going to post this recipe so you guys can follow it.
post it where?
On my site, or on my Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Fungi Farms. TheFungiFarms.
And it's a cute little mascot, too.
And in the bio, there is the link for our Fungi Foods account also. That's where I post all my food content. On the farm page is all the farm page or mushroom farming content. All right, I assume you guys want to try this.
There's people in here, so
Okay.
give out small samples.
Okay. How are we doing the sampling? Should I just... Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know if... You guys can drink this, right? A little shot? A little immunity shot?
Maybe we could pour from,
You want to pour it in the blender and then dip it that way, or you want to do it this way?
Oh,
like if we pour some.
Yeah.
beautiful idea. Stacy said pour some in the blender and we can pour it in. Let's hope this works.
It will.
Ooh, there we go.
Probably too much. Do you want to start
Pour,
passing
and then
it?
if you want to keep ladling
Okay.
out of there.
Yeah.
Are you, Hillary, why don't you have her pour? Because you don't need to stand too much either.
Delicious.
No, no, let him finish this one up.
Okay, thank
And then
you.
they'll do those ones.
Okay. We'll start. How do we pass them out?
I'm going to grab her and have her
Okay.
pass that one out.
What's that? Oak and soy hulls. We're gone. Yeah, no, that would. Thank you. One last one.
We need a special.
I know. How we doing? How we doing? I would go a little bit. Yeah, make sure.
Do you think?
That's good. Yeah, no. Those ones are good. Is this everything that? No.
Hey guys.
Okay. And then I'll.
Should we review or is it good?
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, go. And then the did she grab the ones from the table?
There's still them in here. Yes. Not the lion's mane. The chestnut and the oyster mushroom. Yeah. You're so welcome. Yes. Who got some? Welcome. Sure. Yep.
So our fungi mycelium or is that algae?
Mycelium is mycelium is the roots of a mushroom. It's what's underground that sprouts the mushroom. Thank you. I think we got
Are you going to sell those mushrooms?
those ones. I'm not sure at the end of the day.
I thought maybe I could pick it up at the end
One
of
more?
the day or something.
Okay, let's make sure that. Okay. I think we have some more in the kitchen we gotta go get.
So you're not
Make sure it's just. Okay. Got some more coming here. Yeah. Or no, you can just take those ones. Yeah. Thank you guys. She's got some right there. I think it might be perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna post it on. It'll be on the World Vegan. Let me go grab one. I need two more down there. No, I'm not. Not today. You need one? Oh, she's got one right there. Yeah. You're welcome, guys. Someone need one? Need one? You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the recipe.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you can tweak it with like other oat milks if you want to. You can.
Yeah.
Some people like to add coconut milk instead of like the silk creamer for a little bit more of like there is coconut in the silk creamer, but did you get one? Okay. I want to make sure I think we had just enough. You're welcome.
It's good.
Thank you.
Very good.
You're just saying that. I know. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys. Thank you.
I was about to text my friend
Oh, thank you.
that it tastes like the KFC bowl, but it's super full.
Did you have the KFC bowl?
Oh, I've had it before.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, just blend up the KFC bowl. Nice. Ooh,
No, it's like
that's an
the
idea.
flavor of this.
KFC smoothie. Maybe that's what we'll call it. Yeah.